Greetings, and welcome, everyone. One Love Center for Spiritual Living. So glad that you are here today, that you could be here. And we're glad that everyone is where they are, in the right and perfect place. So, here at One Love Center for Spiritual Living is the place. I'm Reverend Rodney Gittens, and we're going to start our session today talking about love, talking about peace, talking about joy, talking about one love with our opening song. All right, enjoy. Oh, 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 yeah.
There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the One Love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. One love, one light, one light, one light, one spirit divine. Yeah. One heart, one light, one light, one light, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the sacred space, where we honor every face, the splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing, hand in hand, together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one light, one spirit divine, one heart, one light, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home to one love, to one love. Welcome home to one love, where love grows, yeah. To one love.
Yes, one love all around, everywhere, equally present. This is the truth of who we are. Welcome once again to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. We here are on a mission. We've been on a mission for, wow, going on like 25 years. Is that right? Woo, beautiful. Our mission is to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and spiritual living. That's what it's about. Spiritual living, and we see it. We envision a world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and development of learning and the application of spiritual principles. Our community has been lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, musical celebrations, classes, workshops, and spiritual film. One Love Center practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. So we welcome everyone, whether you're first time guests or you're a frequent flyer and frequent visitor and one of our members. We recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. Please know that we support you in being the best that you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows, Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. And yes, it's so glad to have you here. And I invite you to do two things, at least two things. The first is invite somebody else that you think might be interested in what we have to talk about, what we have to converse about, what we have to share. And also make a comment. And, feel free to ask a question, make a comment, share some words of wisdom or anything. Just let us know that, hey, that there's something here that excites you or invites you to participate. So yeah, it's really great that we are able to do this. So what we're going to do is have an opening prayer, an evocation, which is a sacred invitation into awareness. It's that high, holy place deep within. And evocation calls us into conscious recognition of the divine presence, which is already here, and it's already there. It's already everywhere, especially right where you are. So I invite you to join me even more deeply on that higher level, the upper room, that knows that part within us that knows that is the place where God lives, that right within each and every one of us is the presence of the divine. And so with that, I am, the I am, is knowing the truth that there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is whole, perfect, and complete. And that life is my life and the life of each and every one who is listening at any time, not only during this broadcast and after, watching the recording, no matter how many days, weeks, or months, it doesn't matter. God is all there is at all times, even when there was no time. God is now, has always been now, and always is. And talking about whole, and I don't mean the emptiness, I mean the fullness, the wholeness of who we are, and the whole concept of wholeness, which is the topic of the conversation. So each one is invited to participate, wondering, questioning, adding, can you fill a hole with what you know about wholeness? And so that is not only the theme, that's our concentration, not just for today, but for every day, for every moment. Taking a look at what wholeness means, not only for our lives individually, but for all of life. What does wholeness really mean? And so I give thanks knowing that the right and perfect music has been selected, the right and perfect people are responding and commenting and just even showing up. I know that the technology is working to peak efficiency. I give thanks for knowing that all of the work that's been done behind the scenes with Lita Perez and Ellen Belinda Suazo, that everything is operating, is being as it is intended to be, with love and peace and the joy that each and every one brings. And know that this word is already manifesting, already unfolding perfectly according to this word. Spoken into the law of divine right action, I let it be the good that it unfolds to be in the here and the now with great joy, great anticipation. I can't even wait to hear what comes out and what comes in and what comes out. And so I simply release it and let it be the good that it is right here, right now. And I affirm it by saying amen. And so it is. And now it is. Thank you so much. Yeah. So, what we're talking about is, can you fill a hole with what you believe about wholeness? And the question is, well, Can you? What is it that comes to mind when we talk about wholeness? What is it that you believe about whole, perfect, and complete? About what is whole? I don't mean the space like in between, a donut, not that whole. I'm talking about the idea that there is every opportunity to just be aware that we are all one. Now, that means not to be confused by appearances. Just because people come in different shades and hues, the skin color, different hair color, you know, which really, in reality, is something like 1% of like our DNA. Except what happens on this planet, people make a big deal about the differences, period. Different size, different height, different weight, different language, and of course, different skin color, and make too much of a big deal about something that is the smallest percentage of our human makeup. And so, as I mentioned, let's not be confused about the appearance. A lot of people say, oh, well, we can't see God. Well, we can see what God does. We can see how, the creator creates. We see the creations of the creator. And how challenging is it to see the creator in the creations? Okay. Of course, we get locked up by trying to see it with our eyes. Like it's had to take a physical form, the allness, like the creator that created everything out of itself. How many of us get, a little lost trying to look and see God, instead of realizing that we're seeing the activity of God everywhere? I mean, in the chapel in Rome, with the picture of a supposed God, almost touching the finger of a man, and that really, I'm glad in a way it's not touching. I mean, unfortunately, in a way, it means that there is some separation. It means that, oh yeah, there's not oneness there. But actually, we know that even in that space, it's not empty space. That there is no place where God ends and we begin. We are it. We are of it. Yeah, does that make sense to any of y'all? And if not, just type in a comment. That doesn't make sense, or make it with a question mark, and we can talk about that. And so we look at things, not just our idea of God, but life itself. We get caught up with trying to figure things out with our eyes and how it reflects into our brain, and through a lens of separation, through a lens of differences, and not seeing the oneness. And of course, if we did see the oneness, people would not be bombing each other, would not be claiming superiority over another. Okay. And realizing that we are all one, so much so that we cannot allow anyone to be thirsty or to be hungry. That we all belong to one family, and we can say yes to human family, but that all of a sudden excludes all the other creatures, the animals and the other animals and the insects and all the other forms of life. It's all one. We're all whole. So anyway, we'll get into some quotes, And let me just start with the first one. And it says, there is an irresistible, universal, and divine urge within us to be whole and to express the fullness of life. And that's by Ernest Holmes, Practical Applications of Science of Mind. And I think it's just so wonderful that it's mentioned here that it is an irresistible urge on all levels, universal and divine, physical and metaphysical. That urge for us to be whole. Now, my only thought about this is that we are whole. Okay. I would think that it means more like to recognize our wholeness and express the fullness of life, because we are whole. I remember a talk a while back, Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith said, would you be made whole? And that was a really intriguing question. And I like it because it gets us thinking, would I like to be made whole? Yeah. And of course, the answer is yes, of course. And the trick answer is, well, you're already made whole. We were already made with that divine intention. It's like I can't help sometimes but make references to a puzzle. You buy a puzzle, I don't care how many pieces, could be 5 pieces, 1,000 pieces. But the divine idea is on the outside. You see what it looks like. What the intention is, once you put all those pieces together, all right, in that box, it's already whole. When we are born, we are already whole by that divine intention. Okay? And not in comparison to anyone or anything. There are people who might be born with a difference in how their limbs show up, or, maybe they don't have eyesight, and we are quick to look at the differences. Maybe they don't have full access to, mental ability compared to someone else. But what we do know is that even if there seems to be some difference, seems like a malady, seems like an illness, seems like a handicap or something. I don't even want to use the word handicap. Some kind of missing part. We know that that's only on the physical level. We know that there is something beyond the physical that will empower everyone in ways to compensate for the seeming loss of another part. And we know that happens. There's like hearing might be accentuated. They might have sharper hearing if losing eyesight, or things of that nature. And so we are always expressing the fullness of life through this form that we have. And so is every other creature on the planet. And so, yeah, that is a way to look at how we move about in the world. That irresistible urge to express the fullness of life. And what happens? Sometimes things happen and get in the way, and we're not fully able to express the fullness of life as we currently understand it. Sometimes it's what we were taught growing up, whether in school or at home or a peer group. Many times we held on to beliefs of lack and limitation, and would not get a chance to fulfill our wholeness, our fullness of life. So that's something that we get to look at, that we get to even question, that we get to examine. Like, am I really living life to the fullest? So that's what we get to explore. That's what you get to ask of yourself. Am I honoring that divine urge to live life to the fullest? Take that on for a moment. And I know for myself, what's that saying? If you knew better, you do better. Well, as we continue on our spiritual path, we are always creating an opportunity to know better. Sometimes by letting go of what we think we know. I already know. Let that go. To make room for a greater understanding in order to live life more fully, uh, to accept the goodness that life has in store based upon my belief, my word, and my actions. Let's take a look at the next quote. And that's the thing. It says differences are not intended to separate, to alienate. No, we are different precisely in order to realize our need of one another. That's by Desmond Tutu. God Has a Dream, page 76. What a powerful religious and spiritual leader of South Africa. And that says a lot right there. What is that saying? Variety is the spice of life. Yes? My goodness, wouldn't it be? I mean, I think it would be horrible if all we ate every day, for every meal, was the same thing, nothing different. Hot dogs every day. Well, some kids might go for hot dogs and French fries every day, but no. We get to realize that as beautiful as I am, as beautiful as Ellen is, we don't want all of life to look just like me or just only like her. It's important, I think, that we get to honor the differences and not see them so much as in comparison, but they are differences, and each one is equally magnificent. And that's the thing to remember. In the differences, I'm not going to say so-called, yes, there is a difference. And each individualized expression is magnificently its own self without having to compare. And the second part of this is, in order to realize our need of one another, there are things that I can't do, yet someone else can do. We're not all intended to be all and do everything, because then what would there be a need for another? We are all here to help support each other. There are people who are farmers. They grow the food. There are people to transport the food. There's all kind of aspects. I mean, this is so much about what gratitude is about. And if you ever have any doubt about what to be grateful for, if you're sitting in a chair, did you make the chair? No. Well, somebody made the chair. Do you know who made the chair? Okay. Well, there's a reason to be grateful. Okay. There's a reason to honor the difference that people do, that make and do in the world, in order for all of us to have the kind of life worth living. Okay. So we don't separate and put somebody down because they clean toilets or clean airplanes or fly airplanes, or whatever difference there is, we honor those differences. That is a greater sense of belonging, because we all are in it together. What was that song? No man is an island. No man stands alone. Each man's joy is joy for me. Each man's, I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but we're all sharing in it. And that's why we're here. And all the different insects and animals and all the other creatures. And even if I asked this question many, many years ago. Like, okay, it seemed like every creature has a purpose. All right. Not there's just it's an infinite amount. There's a finite amount. We just don't know all of the creatures on the planet. And even if we did, my question is, well, what about the mosquito? What good is a mosquito besides trying to bite me? Um, and one of our members said, well, bats eat mosquitoes. And I'm like, oh, well, we need more bats. That's what I thought, because there's too many mosquitoes, so it seems. However, uh, every form of life, uh, at some level, contributes to the life of another. So let's go to the next quote. It says, could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Oh, how beautiful is that? And you know it happens. You know it does. It happens when you're traveling, maybe on the subway train or a bus, or maybe you exchange a glance with a child or even an adult. And it's really an instant. It's too fast to even create a thought about what just happened. That's a miracle. When the only thing that happens in that space is love. It's like love brought our eyes together for an instant to recognize each other that, yes, we belong because we are here. We are in life. Enough so that we get to recognize the presence of the divine in that instant before we start going to the filters and the fear and the doubt and like, oh my God, they're looking at me. What do they see? Is my hair right? We start going through all this stuff, But the miracle is to look through and see the presence of the divine. That's like when we say namaste, the presence of the divine in me, recognizes, honors the presence of the divine in you. That's all that's needed. That's all that's necessary. There's no time to throw a bomb. There's no time to try to hurt someone. In that instant is love and joy and peace and harmony. And it happens with infants, with children, with animals. It's just that instant where we don't even have time to decide anything. And that word decide means to kill off. D-E, and side, C-I-D-E, is like really means like to kill off. And all of this happens in an instant before we can decide to kill off the joy or the peace or the love, the miracle. Because then once we get into that human brain activity and start trying to put everything in a box, no, the instant's gone. And that's by Henry David Thoreau, Walden. Really interesting book and concept of how people can live in harmony with one another. All right, let's take on the next quote. It says, and this, I invite each one to take in a breath. It says, we are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. Thich Nhat Hanh. And just take that in for a moment. We are here. It's like the only reason we are here is to recognize that separateness is an illusion for all the purposes for our being here on the planet in this form. And again, Reverend Michael Beckwith called it we are descended masters. We have descended into form, into this creature form on the planet, only to awaken not to our humanity, but to our divinity. And we are not separate, which is the truth. I mean, I remember a time when I was hurt in a school that I went to, private school, and there weren't very many people that looked like me. And I got cut and I was bleeding. And one of the kids who didn't look like, same skin color as me is like, wow, you got red blood, you know? And it was incredible because he was probably the only one who thought to say it out loud. But they were looking like, yeah, he does have red blood, you know, totally in a state of illusion, you know, and revealed their belief in separateness, you know. Now, of course, they were only thinking of me as being separate, not realizing they were separating themselves. And yet it's still an illusion. And so we are always here to foster, to strengthen our belief in oneness and wholeness. So, what is it that you know about wholeness? By saying there's only one. And that is not necessarily an easy concept to grasp. That there's only one. Only one what? Only one life. Only one life. Well, my life is not the same as your life. And so what do we teach? We teach that we are individualized expressions of the one. Yeah.
Well, technology is doing its things today. This is Ellen Suazo, and Reverend Ronnie got kicked off. Um, I don't know. Maybe his internet is weak wherever he's at. But I'll follow. As he was talking about being awakened from the illusion of being separate. And what I know from my own experience is that it really does, it is an illusion of being separate, and not just from one another as humans, but from everything. There's only one energy, one presence. And when we remember that, when we recognize that, when we actually perceive it in a deeper level, we become aware and awaken to that truth. And it's so beautiful because it really takes us from that place of judgment and begin to see one another with the same kindness, the love. We begin to embrace our differences, just like we embrace the difference of fruits, of trees. And we can, instead of judging it, appreciate it. Because when we appreciate ourselves as well. So here's Reverend Rodney back with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is spirit in full effect. We are one. And thank you, Ellen. Belinda. So, yeah, again, that's all about the oneness. That's all about how we get to be awaken, which is the important word. It means that many of us are asleep, thinking that we are separate. And thank you again for filling in. And Do we have another quote? Yes, we do. Now, I like this quote. I wasn't necessarily a fan of the Bible growing up because most of the time they tried to force it down our throats in Sunday school and church. Um, but I always kind of like this quote, and I like it even more now. I have a greater understanding of the Bible, and that's one of the things we do when we teach our classes. We get a greater understanding of the spiritual principles in the religions, the major religions. It's not just all about one religion is better than another. In our philosophy, we get to look at different religions equally and enjoy what they have to offer and use what they have to offer. And so here it says from Matthew 7, chapter 7, verse, ask and it will be given you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened for you. And what does that mean? That means nothing is denied you. This is a world of abundance. This is a life of abundance. Okay? In its wholeness, nothing can be taken away. Was that saying that nature abhors a vacuum? There's always something rushing in to prosper our lives. It's like the air we breathe. I don't know about you. There was for a long time I took breathing for granted. Until I was swimming underwater and my breathing apparatus, the snorkel, had a problem with it, and breathing became a challenge. I like, oh my goodness, I gotta, get all the way up to the top, and then take in a breath that's not going to include seawater. So it's like all of a sudden I had a deeply profound appreciation for oxygen, and my ask was just let me get to the top, just let me get my head above the water, and yeah, that obviously the prayer was answered. Knock and the door will be opened for you. Didn't say maybe, not possibly. It will be opened. And that is how the universe, that's how the creator provides for its creations. It's available for you. The lilies of the field, neither do they toil nor spin. They're not worried about where the oxygen comes from or the carbon dioxide, which is what we give when we breathe in. We give out what they take in. All right. They're not knocking on the door like, hey, where's mine's? There's complete trust and faith in all that is available. And it's not a hole without the W. It's not the emptiness. It's the W hole. It's the wholeness of everything that is necessary for our life, for us to succeed, is available to us. However, our part is to ask. I don't know how many of you, whenever you watch this, listen to this, remember my acronym for ASK, ASK, Accessing Spiritual Knowledge. Dear friend of mine, Ray Jordan, said, how about accessing spiritual knowing? Oh, that's just a deep sense of knowing. So we're not asking as a question. We are accessing that which is already available to us. That's that kind of wholeness, that there is no limitation to the information that is available to each and every one of us. Ask and it will be given. Search and you'll find. Be a seeker. All right. And you won't come up empty. All right. And all that is necessary for you will be made available. This comes with practice, a knowing practice. I'm going to say, hey, greetings, Marcus. Hey, Marcus, glad you could check in. All right. And if you have any comments, please feel free to join in. And so, yeah, um, there is a specific way in which we get to access this spiritual knowledge, this spiritual knowing. It's not enough just to know it and to access it, it's to use it. Like Ricky Baya's song, Use Me. Hey, there is a specific purpose for each one of us for being on the planet, contributing to the wholeness. As I mentioned before about the puzzle, all the pieces are there. They all fit together. Okay. And they all paint the picture. They all contribute. And so each one of us contributes to the oneness, to the wholeness. 1 + 1 = 1. We all are part of the one. Yes. And so at this point, we're going to move into our affirmations. We're going to deepen our awareness of our oneness, of our of these illusion of the separatedness. Okay, so I invite each one to join me as we do our affirmations. And here's how we like to do it. We take in a breath, and then we give out the breath and recite the affirmation. And we do it twice, that same process. And so here we go. So breathe in. We breathe in. It is so that I contribute my unique gift to the collective good, knowing that together we create a stronger, wiser, more compassionate world. Let's take in a breath and do that again. It is so. I contribute my unique gifts to the collective good, knowing that together we create a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate world. Next, take in a breath and release the breath. It is so that I release every illusion of separation and embrace the truth that love connects, sustains, and unites all life. One more time. It is so. I release every illusion of separation and embrace the truth that love sustains and unites all life. And the last one, and the last affirmation, it says, it is so that I recognize and honor that I am part of one global family. Let's take a breath and do that again. And we'll keep the music low, very, very low. And take a breath, and it says, it is so that I recognize and honor that I am part of one global family. This is the truth. It is so, and so it is, and now it is. And so please join me as we go into our grounding treatment, knowing that there is a divine presence that moves in, through, and as each and every one. That each one is whole and complete in God. Knowing that there is only wholeness, only oneness. Anything else is an illusion of separation. And so I am knowing for each and every one that each one gets to embrace the wholeness of the global family, that wherever each one is, wherever we are, wherever you are, wherever any one of us is, there is our global family, our holy family, that each one says yes to embracing the truth about themselves when looking in the eyes of another, looking in the eyes of another and seeing the love, seeing the embrace of truth, that deep knowledge, that deep knowing that right where I am, God is in through each and every one, in a glance, in an instant, knowing that this is true in all of our affairs, true in our health, whole and complete, as the Creator has made each and every one, whole and complete when it comes to divine activities, that there is a divine purpose for each one on the planet. Each one says yes to who they are intended to be, whole and complete, as whatever their divine intention is to be fulfilled. I give thanks for knowing that each and every one says yes to experiencing whole and complete in their endeavors, in their financial realm, knowing that there is no separation, yet each one gets to ask, knowing that the door is already open to receive the good that is intended for each one. I give thanks for knowing that this is the truth right now for each and every one, whole and complete as is, God made perfection, made in the spiritual image and likeness of the divine. I know this is the word spoken, and therefore this is the truth, that eyes and ears are open wide, heart is open wide, arms are open wide to embrace this truth, whole and complete in God, the oneness, in thought, in mind, in manifestation. Each one says yes, whole and complete in God. And so this word spoken into the law that always knows what to do, how to do it, when to do it, takes the word, makes it whole and complete on earth as it is in heaven, as it is from the divine mind. And therefore I know it's already done. I release this word knowing it is so. I affirm it by saying amen, and so it is, and now it is. Thank you. Peace and blessings. And now we're going to invite Belinda to the screen to talk about prayer.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Rodney, for that beautiful treatment. So let's go to the next part. What you just saw Reverend Rodney do was a treatment, and that is called a 5-step affirmative prayer. And what I like to say to you is that we are professional prayer professionals here, and we are inviting you to send us an email, send us your requests, because what we know is that you are a spiritual being, a powerful being, that divine love already is within you. And spirit is just waiting for you to remember waiting for you to open your heart, your mind, and your whole beingness to use it. And here, the professional prayer professionals, practitioners that we are so essential. Why? Because when you don't remember who you are, we know it for you. And so we pray for you. So we invite you to send your requests, your prayer requests, to our emails, onelove@onelovecenter.org, or we invite you to leave a voice message at 646-685-3344. You can also send your prayer requests, if you choose to Centers for Spiritual Living World Ministry of Prayer. Their email address is oneprayer@csl.org, or you can give them a call at 424-235-4326. And remember that all your prayers are kept strictly confidential, whether it's through the World Ministry of Prayer or through One Love Center. And we will pray for you for the next 7 days. If you choose to have your prayers continue to pray for you, you will have to give us another email or call us and let us know so we can continue to pray for you. Okay, so send your prayers and make sure that we pray for you for that situation, that condition that you like to adjust. It's an adjustment, because the truth, your truth, is already there, present within you. Yet we pray for the right seeing. Okay, and at this moment, we also like to thank you for your generosity, because we could not be here without your generosity. And we always say, oh, we're so grateful for every person that for all this years, since 2011, that we have been of service, that we can continue to be of service because of you, because of your generosity. So I like to invite you to do the affirmation of abundance. And it says, money, first of all, put your hands on your heart. Okay, put your right hand on your heart and say, money, as one of the many gifts of spirit, is good. As I share my offering, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gifts, more money, and more good. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good works these gifts do in our center and in our world. And now it is. We want to invite you to go to onelovecenter.org and send us the let me see. Okay, and send your donations. You can go to click the donate button. It's going to take you to the PayPal, and it's going to take you through the process of sending your money. You can also send it via Cash App by going to $OneLoveCSL. So we thank you for your generosity, and remember that the amount does not matter. What matters is that you give from a place of abundance, knowing that you're sharing your gift, and the more you share, the more you receive. You're activating the law of circulation. So thank you, and we'll bring Reverend Rodney back.
Thank you, Ellen. A wonderful, wonderful expression of giving. We that's what we like to do. We like to give. We support with what comes to us. We support through prayer and treatments, and even if you need more in-depth time with one of our practitioners, that can be arranged as well. That's for a fee. No one's turned away, so use us. All right. So coming up is our announcements. Well, before we even get to that, we have a contemplative question. What would it mean to really believe we are all one global family and that we are each unique and divine? So take that with you as you go throughout the day, throughout the week. What would it really mean if you believe we are one global family, that we are each unique and divine? Just take it on. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just, what do you believe? Okay. And, well, let's see what happened here. Yeah, here we go. So the first announcement is the book of the month. The book that is being used throughout our global community is What It Takes to Heal by Prentice Hemphill. The transforming ourselves can change the world. Well, we know that. Change your thinking, change your life. Okay. And so, yeah, we're using excerpts from this book. And so at any time, you can grab that book and find another way to practice what it takes to heal for your life and for the world. Next, tech support. Where to go? Tech support. One Love Center is requesting technical assistance for our Sunday broadcast. Do you know someone, or do you or someone you know have a heart to serve our mission? You can contact us, email contact us, onelove@onelovecenter.org, or call us 646-685-3344. And it doesn't mean you have to do it every Sunday, although if you like, you can. But yeah, we could use the help. We appreciate it, and we give thanks in advance. And next, the Science of Mind magazine. This month is there are daily readings by Reverend Dr. John Waterhouse, a wonderful dear friend of so many of us. And so for today, he has an affirmation that says, "It is my divine nature to be eternally good, kind, generous, and life-affirming." And he used a quote in today's reading. It said, "We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all." So Science of Mind magazine, you can get this free for the rest of the year if you email us and let us know that, hey, put me on your mailing list, or I'm on your mailing list. Maybe it's not a formal membership. However, we consider that membership, so we can arrange for you to get that magazine for free for the rest of the year. So if that sounds good to you, we can make it happen. All right. And Science of Mind magazine has so much more information. There's so many, and I must admit, there's a wonderful article by Ellen Belinda Suazo that you will certainly enjoy. She's just showing off in so many wonderful ways. And that is living life fully, and we just get to do more and more of who we are. And you'll see a lot of that in that magazine. There's just so much juicy, helpful, spiritually minded information, things to practice and share. All right. So coming up this week, and there are people who are here, who are there already. I'm saying here, like mentally, I'm there. Convention of the Americas, bilingual Pan-American spiritual gathering, connection, learning, celebration, bringing together seekers, leaders across South and Central and North America. This is going to be in Chapala, Mexico, this coming week, July 21st to the 25th. There are people there now who are celebrating the birthday, they're playing in the pool at the hotel. So July 21st to the 25th, guess what? It's not too late. You can still show up. You can jump on a plane and get your registration, even when you get there. It's a great time. Guess what? I'll be there, and I'm going to celebrate my birthday while we're there as well. and so many other things. We're going to be celebrating, as a matter of fact, my ordination ceremony, and there'll be others. There'll be celebrating the ordination of ministers who are from these other parts of America, not North America. We're talking about South and Central America. It's just going to be a wonderful, powerful time. So, and it's bilingual. So, there's ways that you can definitely be a part of what's happening. You're going to love it. And so next, we have the People of African Descent New Thought Group. This is an independent New Thought group, and we'll be having our Celebrating Our Soul will be the third one every other year. So it is August 13th to August 16th. So there's still time to register and to go. I'm going to play a very quick promo for it. And just give me a moment. And here it is.
Rudy Nyumbani Iswa. Rudy Nyumbani is Swahili for come home. The People of African Descent New Thought Group invite you to follow your ancestral call to attend Celebrating Our Soul, Claiming Our Sacred Power at Unity Village from August 13th through 16th, 2026. This special time calls you to awaken, remember your sacred power, take the journey to transform challenge into conquest, where you depart from your former self to embrace your genuine power. Our music will inspire you. Our singers will awaken you. Keynote speakers like Ishmael Tete will serendipitously or intentionally connect you with your spirit and your roots. Reverend Michael Beckwith will have you on your feet, either praising God or getting down from your inner spirit to the top of your crown chakra. The African drummers from the Traditional Music Society and the Isoke dancers will have you dancing with your ancestors. And the brilliant masterclass presenters will open your minds and hearts in miraculous ways. Energy healing workers will restore your body so that it is in alignment with your newly revived spirit. You can get Reiki, a massage, craniosacral therapy, or do daily Qigong with Baji Daniels. There are many activities on the program and a couple of off-site trips. But you can stay on the grounds and chill if you'd like. Enjoy the fountains or labyrinth or peaceful trails, or simply chill with your friends. If you can't be there in person, don't fret. Our virtual option is now available. Virtual registrants will be able to access the Zoom recordings 2 weeks after the conference ends, Monday, August 31st. The recordings will be available for 1 month through September 30. To be there virtually on Zoom, go to padntg.breezecom/form/COS virtual 2026. Again, that's padntg.breezecms.com/form/COS virtual 2026. It's up to you how you celebrate your soul. But whatever you do, please celebrate you and get your ticket today at padntg.org. See you there.
Yes, we would love to see you there. So thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate seeing you and having you. And again, even if you didn't catch this whole thing, you can watch it and make comments even after this is over. And if you'd like to comment, you can also email us at onelovecenter.org. So thank you for sharing with us today. Next week, the topic is a world that values all of who we are. Just take that in. So we're going to work on wholeness, seeing the wholeness of the global family, and then we get to value. Next week, we talk about valuing who we are. So once again, thank you. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you to all those who are watching. And it's just a pleasure to have you. And we get to do it again. We're going to have a closing prayer. I also want to thank Lita Perez and continued prayer for her recovery, as well as thanking Ellen Belinda Suazo for filling in and also for helping out behind the scenes. Bless you and thank you, beloved. And so, a quick benediction, a quick good word to go out on, knowing that there's only one life. That life is God's life, whole, perfect, and complete. Knowing that right within me, right within each and every one, is that wholeness, is that perfection, is that completeness that says, yes, it is the I am that is in and as each and every one, going throughout this week, focusing on belonging, the wholeness, the oneness, seeing the wholeness everywhere we look. Removing the illusion of separation. Each one of us is empowered by embracing the wholeness of not just humanity, but all of creation, even the clouds, even the rain and the sun, knowing that it is all of the one. So for this and so much more, I give thanks, deep and abiding gratitude for seeing the wholeness as it is, as all activities of the one. And knowing that behind and back of all of that is God, the Creator, the divine infinite spirit that's running the show. And so I allow it to be the good that it is right here, right now, and affirm it by saying, and so it is, and now it is. And we have a wonderful song to follow up. So stick around for that song. And after that, we'll say goodbye and see you again next week.
Joyous sacred celebration. We give thanks for all we are. Every soul has come so far. Love in action, service true. The divine spirit that is you. We're awakening, can't you see? Living love and living free. One love, one life, one spirit divine. One heart, one life. Your journey and mine. Where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome to this sacred space where we honor every face. The splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing hand in hand. Together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, heart set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one life, one spirit divine. One heart, one life. Your journey and mine. Where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows Welcome home to one love. Yeah. Welcome home to one love. Where love grows. Where love grows. Where love grows.
Yes, indeed. Love growing all around, growing as you, as me, as us all. Peace and blessings, beloved. We'll see you again next week.